Hi, and welcome back to the World Cancer Day live program. I'm really thrilled to welcome on today's session Paula Radcliffe. She is a marathon world record holder. She ran the New York Marathon. She won the New York Marathon 3 times. She won the London Marathon 3 times, and she won the Chicago Marathon 1 time. And she runs the marathon in a little over 2 hours and 15 minutes. So this is incredible to have her part of the World Cancer Day live program. So thrilled to have you, Paula. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a little bit of a step into the unknown for me. Cycling is not anything that I'm particularly good at, but I'm really behind the Solidarity Challenge and to do something on World Cancer Day to try and close that care gap and to do what we can to help people to fight this disease.
I see you're all set to take part in the World Cancer Day Solidarity Challenge. For those of you who don't know, it's the challenge where thousands of cyclists and runners are, and some of the biggest names in sports like Paula Radcliffe are joining forces with UICC to raise awareness for World Cancer Day. So this is the second time that you're taking part in this Solidarity Challenge. Can you tell us why World Cancer Day and just raising awareness around cancer is important to you?
It's extremely important to me. My mom went through breast cancer around the time that I won my second and third New York City marathons. And then throughout the pandemic in 2020, my daughter Isla was diagnosed with a malignant germ tumor, which was on her ovary, so a teenage ovarian cancer. We were very fortunate in that it was picked up very quickly and dealt with and treated very quickly despite the pandemic. So very grateful to the staff at the L'Arche Hospital in Nice, and then when she had the surgery at Lanval, for the speed that it was dealt with, the way that we were supported, and the fact that now we've celebrated 1 year all clear and we're into the second year. But really opened my eyes to what families go through, what parents go through when a child is diagnosed with cancer, and extremely proud of how strong and how courageous she was throughout that. And then this past Christmas, we went out to Kenya to take part in the Equator Relay there, which was trying to break ground on the first ever children's pediatric cancer hospital in sub-Saharan Africa. There isn't one to this point, so they started construction on Christmas Eve there, and really highlighted the difference, because the survival odds for a child facing cancer in Africa are just 1 in 10 as opposed to 9 in 10 here or in the US.
Thank you very much for sharing your personal story with our viewers. I know that cannot always be very easy. I was wondering, how was it to be the caregiver to your daughter, and who was taking care of you while you were helping her?
Well, I think it's really important that, as the primary caregiver, that I had the support of family and friends around me. It's vital. You go through a lot of feelings of helplessness, wanting to be able to do it for them, but you can't. Questions of guilt. Is it something that I've fed them? Is it something to do with where we live? And that's where it's really important. I think that the medical staff were excellent from the beginning in reassuring me and explaining how this happens, how well it can be treated, and what we can do. And I think for me in particular, that helped to have a plan. From a sporting background, the fact that I could have a plan, we could see the plan was working through the chemotherapy, understand how it worked, and just to take it day by day, much as you do when you're preparing for a big event. You take the training and the preparation day by day and just focus on what you can do and try not to worry or stress about what you can't. So that mentality really helped me to be as strong as I could for her. And I think, just having that support crew around me, someone I could talk to when I needed to, someone I could cry with when I needed to, someone who could come in and sit with her and support her while I went out to go for a run or to do something to refresh my energy and clear my head and enable me to be stronger for her when I was with her.
Yeah, you mentioned that you went on runs to gather strength. Can you talk a little bit more about the role of physical activity in staying resilient, both mentally and physically, when you go through something difficult like this?
Absolutely. I mean, it's something that I was aware of, I guess, a long time ago. A huge idol of mine, Greta Weitz, went through a very well documented battle with cancer. She was 5 times world cross country champion. She was 9 times New York City Marathon champion, and she lost her battle with cancer. I think it was around about 2010, and hugely inspirational in the fact that all the way through the treatment, however debilitating the treatment was, she tried to keep exercise as a part of her day, not to stay fit, but to enable her to stay stronger and more motivated and in a more positive mindset. And I think it's vital throughout the treatment that cancer patients can have access to that for those reasons, not to stay fit and not to focus on training per se, but just to keep themselves as healthy and as mentally strong as possible. And I absolutely think that that helps too for the caregivers and for the family and friends around that. It just helps to have a little bit of refreshing, resetting, rebalancing, re-energizing in the day, and also to keep something constant and to keep yourself healthy, because it's extremely important that as the caregiver we stay as strong as possible and don't allow our immune systems to break down under the strain.
Yes, thank you very much for sharing. What would you say would be the life lesson that you drew from this experience?
I think it resets a lot of our perspectives. I would have said beforehand I had a fairly strong perspective on what was important in life, but seeing your child go through something like that and seeing the effect on your family around you, I think really restores that sense of perspective and underlines what is important in life. So I think that was the biggest life lesson, and to not be afraid to lean on your support staff, your support crew around you, and to focus each day on what you can do, not on worrying about what you can't control.
Do you have any words of encouragement to someone who is going through cancer, or to someone who's taking care of someone who has cancer?
Yeah, I think again it would be to focus on what you can do, to ask all the questions, to make sure that you understand what's going on, what the treatment does as much as possible, and to try and stick to that plan, while also accepting that things like white cell counts, there's nothing that you can do to control that. I know it was something that really affected me because there's nothing you can do but wait in that situation for the body to get back on top of things and to be strong enough to face the next stage. So yeah, take in all the information, listen and trust the process and the experts. That would be my big advice, and just keep visualizing the end goal, stay positive throughout and stay focused on coming through this.
So, you know, this is the first year of the Close the Care Gap campaign, which is all about recognizing the inequities in cancer care around the world. Now, you've mentioned in the beginning of our talk your experience in Kenya. Can you tell us why you want to close the care gap?
I think that experience for me in Kenya really brought home to myself, to my family, particularly to Isla. She saw the difference in the chance for the children there, and primarily just because the care is not there, so the cancer is not picked up quickly enough, and when it is, the access to treatment is not available there. So there's a huge gap, and it's a gap that really, I think, in today's modern world and society, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable that children, just because of where they're born and where they live, face such inverted odds in their survival chances, and I think that we need to do as much as we can to try and close that care gap. That's why I'm really behind this campaign. As I said at the beginning, we were so lucky that we lived in an area where the care was so good and the cancer was treated so quickly and so efficiently. And I want every child to have that chance, every person fighting cancer to have the same chance of beating it, and that together we move everyone's chances forward and keep fighting cancer.
We couldn't agree with you more, Paula, and thank you so much for your support on World Cancer Day and every day for this really important cause. And I just wanted to wish you good luck on the ride. And
Thank you,
we'll
and
see you
good luck to
there.
everybody else who's hopefully joining us. I'll be on the ride at 11 a.m. CET, so that's ride 2. Not really sure what I'm doing, and I'm still learning how to do the chat function, but I'm looking forward to meeting everyone on there, and good luck to everyone, and thanks for supporting.